Hello, and excited to bring you a nutrition and diet update. Let's get into it. So, as an example, this week I thought I was in front longer than I was, but I'm actually 2 weeks behind that. But I did start a little bit earlier, starting to drop food back probably about 4 weeks before it. Like, I just started cutting dairy out, cutting all them things out slowly as I was getting used to the nutrition before this date. But from the actual date that I started the cleaner style of nutrition, I'm basically 19 weeks in now, and during that period of time I have lost 17 kilos. So it's quite exciting, it's good to get all that weight off. By saying that, I have deliberately shaved weight off quicker a little bit, so like I said, I don't think I'll be as full, but that is fine. That is my decision because I'm on the last legs. If I want the weight off quick, I can take it off quick. If I want to take it slow, I'll take it slow. Due to messing with my body and doing these things in my body for a very long period of time, I can have constant weeks where I take a lot of weight off, A lot of people can't do that with their body because they'll get to sticking points. But like I said, it's just, I know how mine works. Not boasting or thing, it's just the way it is because I've worked with mine for a long time where, if you work with someone else or you're doing someone else's nutrition, as I've done many times in the past, sometimes their way that you feed them will work a little bit differently. I think realistically on the end of the day, it's got more to do with their starting point on how much food they're consuming as you bring the nutrition in and how many meals a day they're eating. Because like even at a state where I've been at a lower amount where I could have less calories, I'm able to eat and get away with more calories if I've had more frequent meal timing and I've slowly brought it down instead of just trying to do it really fast and then rebounding out of it. But it's all trial and error when it comes to that, as I'm saying. So quite good. So I'm at 119 now, 7 weeks to go with this. Oddly, like I says, I'm unsure if I'm going to go the 4 weeks or I'm going to push to the 8, or I'm finishing at the 7. I have no idea, haven't decided what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave that sporadic, and we'll come back to that in a tick, and I'll see if we've got anything else to say. But like I says, all that's basically moving along quite well. Calories. Okay, so what I did do, because it was a little bit more the weight loss, like I says, I will tell you the exact date in between, but you could have worked it out from that if you've seen that. But so what I did was I had a higher day. I had that yesterday. I felt really good. I was finally full the whole time. It was awesome. So instead of being hungry every day, I punched the calories out a lot higher. So I deliberately had as you can see, the 4,000 calories. The weight rebounded a little bit. So instead of I basically gained, probably about 1.5 kilos or half a kilo. What I usually found, that will sort of, from that one time you either eat your one meal, like I said, this was a lot more, because I'm unsure if I'm going to keep this in. This is just a reset thing that I think I needed it. So sorry for the sidetrack. So we'll see how that goes for that. I'll get to period and see how that goes for next week. Usually it's only half a kilo, that's what I was saying. Sorry for the long weighted confusion with there. Stupid brain fart. Everyone gets them every now and again. Cardio did not change. I bumped the other carbs up a little bit too. During the week, just a little bit more. So I've just got to, because I shaved them down about 100 for last, so I bumped them up a little bit more. We'll see how that goes for this week with these changes. Like I says, I'm unsure. Over the next few days, I'll get data from that and I'll know what my body has done. So then I might, drop this down to probably 3,500 or back down to 3, depending on how my body's react for next week. But that's it. So we left the cardio same. Let's get into the next section. So the next section that's just both together, the thumbnail I'm going to use for this. So here we go. So that's why the calories were much higher for this week. Realistically, one 0.2, 1 kilo, kilo and a half. That's sort of like a more realistic path to for the weight loss, because the weight loss was a lot higher. It sort of was like, okay, I think I'm gonna induce a little bit more food, like, you know. So but yeah, so that was the reason why, because of how high the weight loss was. There was a slight adjustment to try to correct that. So it comes off just a little bit slower. I still want it at a quicker rate than I was, you know, because like I said, it was quite easy for me to sit it for, like I showed you guys before, I sat for 8 weeks losing body fat and just stay the same weight. I can do that quite easily. It's just, you know, it's just the way that my body is. And I know how to tune it correctly to give it the exact amount of food. Anyone can work that out. You just got to play with your food, keep working with what actually works, take your measurements, take your calipers, do all of them so you're on track and you know what's happening. Like I says, at the end of the day, it's really not rocket science, you know. Technically, it's better for you guys to do it yourself, because it will be more beneficial for you to get all this information and knowledge by doing it for yourself. No need to go and fucking hire a coach all the time. But if you do want to hire a coach and you don't want to do it, like I says, I do coaching service as well if you're interested. So let's check out the legs. This is where I'm more excited. So compared to last week, the couple of changes that I introduced with less cardio, I did move a little bit more volume on the legs again, because like I said, I will do low volume on my legs. My legs do not grow from it. It's just the way it is, you know. I do low volume on nearly everything else. Like I says, I explained slightly my training style. I will give you this again, so you think, like I says, I haven't found anyone who's got the same type of training style as me. They say, oh, it's similar. It's not similar at all, mate. It's totally different. Okay, so like I says, I do the pyramid setup to failure of 1 set. Then during that, I'll have 3 different types of sets. So I'll pick one exercise. So that exercise, I might do reps of 20 for that exercise. All of them will be reps of 20, close to just off failure, probably about an 8 or a 9. Right, I mean? And then, so then the opposite one will be, I'll do a similar thing and I'll do a real slow movement. So it's under peak contraction, slow movement the whole time. Right? Then for the other one, then I'll do 1 set very close to failure. Like I says, I haven't been going as hard to that failure point because of the calories low and how long I've been doing nutrition, but that's the methodology. It's very simple. It's between it, and you know, all the different styles of actually training, they're all combined into one style. So you know that's there for you guys for free. Try that. Like I says, I found very, very good results with that, because I'm like, I look at it as like a wet tea towel, as I said to you before. The wet tea towel's there. Let's drain every single drop out of that muscle tissue that I possibly can. You know, like I could obviously hit it with more volume. Other things, it doesn't need the amount of volume because of the amount of stress is put on it. It's still anywhere from 15 sets. You know, the only day I do a different type of training due to the leg injuries, as I explained. I've got, you know, a lot of different leg injuries that I've had. So then I just use a more type of higher volume, and I'll do more like Jay Cutler, you know, that more style of training. I'll do like a high volume, and I will do, you know, like just probably about 8 or a 7 left in the tank, and I'll just then move on to the next exercise, but very quick. So if I waited, my weights would actually go up, and I want to pre-fatigue the muscle. So as an example, I'll start with an extension on the leg first, and then I'll go do a heavier compound movement, because I'm just trying to exhaust the muscle constantly. So, you know, it depends on what styles, but basically that's the styles I've been doing and hitting everything with. So one is like that and one's the other. But yeah, I think that's all we got for that. Let's get into today's bodybuilder, and that's Sean Roden, as you can see. So, you know, Sean Roden, beautiful physique. What else can I say? You know, he dethroned Phil Heath during that time. You know, I would have really loved to see, you know, how he went for a longer period of time, but you know, it just we weren't blessed enough to see that happen. But yeah, let's just have a look and break it down. So, but yeah, like I says, I don't really know a great deal about Sean Roden, other than, like, you know, his wins and that. And you know, it was very exciting there watching him beat Phil Heath during that time, you know, because like he was like the underdog and no one thought he could do it, and he ended up coming back and doing it. You know, it was very exciting. But like, you know, I shouldn't really speak on it because I don't really know, but there was like just some complications and other things after that, and that stopped him from competing in the next Mr. Olympia. I would have really liked to see him compete straight away after that, and then other complications happened and he left us, and that was very sad. But yeah, would have really liked to see that. So yeah, that's why I thought we'll just feature him today, and that's all I've got time for. Tune in for a new episode. Hooray and goodbye.